Welcome back in. This segment of our program brought to you by Safety Systems. For nearly 20 years, Safety Systems has been protecting East Tennessee homes and businesses. They've got the best equipment. They've got a terrific offer on monitoring systems. Matter of fact, call them and tell them the Sports Source told you to call, and I'm going to bet you that VFL JJ Surlis will cut you some sort of special Sports Source deal there. Give them a call this week. Support us. Always appreciated. Safety Systems, they will take care of you in terms of those security and monitoring setups. Give them a shout this week. Tell them the Sports Source sent you. All right. Let's go. Look here. You had a lot of young guys got on the field yesterday. Schamberger, 7 solo tackles, 5 assists, 12 led the team in tackles, had a sack as well. Batuli, who's been playing, but still we'll put him in there. He doesn't stay on the field. He had a nice day, 9 tackles, an interception. The only high point, broke the scoring streak in terms of the team overall. Ignont got in, Jackson got in, Reed got in. You look at yesterday, 25 total tackles from those guys, 1 interception, 1 sack. Combine those exact same players in 3 games against UMass, Georgia, and South Carolina. That's mainly Batuli because none of those guys played. So in 3 games, they didn't do as much as that. So my question here is, gentlemen, when you look at those young guys against Alabama, should they have gone to the youth movement earlier? Sterling Hinton.
Well, you've got to get your best guys on the field. And we've been hurt by a lot of injuries over the past couple of years, especially this year when I saw my key people and Darren Kirkland Jr. at the linebacker, who was our defensive leader, who's not in the game right now. But you got to get your best guys on the field. I like what they saw yesterday with throwing in the fire, the big fire. So I like to see some more progress in games upcoming. And I tell you, if they build on that, could be a force out there.
I thought there were some guys that looked good yesterday, and it made me wonder, why did you wait till week 7?
I think it's been a criticism of mine with this coaching staff for a long time, which is they don't take the talent that they see and put it out in the field early enough or put it out often enough. Some reason has to make them do something.
These last 2 years especially.
Yeah.
Early on, they would put them out there because
they didn't have a lot of good talent above them.
Yeah.
But right now, you look at these guys and you're like, how do you continuously not get the best athlete on the field? Because a lot of times, Batuli wasn't going to play. He wasn't going to play till a guy in front of him got hurt, and all of a sudden now he's one of their better linebackers. And you kind of just look at it and go, well, what was your judgment of why he wasn't going to play? I have a problem with that.
He's not consistently making the right decisions on the field, but he does have the athletic talent to take an interception 95 yards. So you got to weigh that. If you've got a guy who knows what the play is going to be but doesn't have the athletic talent to make the play, or you've got a guy who can really make a bonehead mistake but has the talent to maybe make up for it, you got to decide who you're going with.
Well, and I said it last year, and I said it this year so far just a little bit, but because it's not as obvious as it was last year. You've got most of your sets, 12 personnel on the field. You don't have 21 personnel, so you're using 2 tight ends instead of 2 running backs.
Right.
Who are your best players? Your running backs. So how come they're not on the field more often than tight ends are? And that's just a criticism that you continuously see, because it's obvious who your best athletes are and your best players are, and you're just not doing enough to get them out in the field together.
Well, and you saw some of it yesterday with, Schamberger. Would he have played if Justin Martin hadn't been banged up?
Well, that's a product of trying to adapt your players to your offense versus your offense to your players. And, when it comes down to who knows what's going out on the field or who's the better athlete, you put that better athlete out there. Let them go make plays. And we have. This has been an issue with the staff. They've waited too long to get the young guys out there. And I'm not saying, hey, as soon as a veteran makes a mistake, you replace them. But you look at the body of work and you give a guy an opportunity to let him go out and see what he can do.
Daniel, you want in on this one, or can I flip?
Okay, the thing I say to it is he's waited too long to give him, reps in general. I think at this point you probably shift most of your reps to your younger guys, but the time to get those guys reps was really
Indiana State.
Not just that, but I'm talking about, you put them in. If you're on one of those drives like Alabama had yesterday, it's a 12 or 15 play drive. Put in your young guys for 2 or 3 plays. Give your starters the rest of if they get to the red zone, that's when those guys get it. You got to develop your depth at that point in the game. Give them something you can coach off of in meetings.
I just wonder why most of these guys got more playing time in Game 7 than they've gotten in the previous 6 weeks. In terms of veterans, let me ask you this. If they start seeing more and more young guys play, any chance some of them start easing off the gas a little bit here? Because, well, wait a second, I've given my 3 years, and now you're putting Junior in here instead of me. The kid he's going to play. Is that an issue?
It can be an issue, but I don't think it will be as much, because either the veteran is going to look out and try to say, can he play NFL or some other league after this? And also, he's got to sit there and go, you know what, I'm going to finish out my career. This may be if I'm not going for that, then this is the last time I'm going to play football. So you hope that for those two reasons they stay involved in the game.
Any concerns on that end, Sterling?
I hope it's not, because right now it's the time when you got to practice with the preach. It's all about team. There's no I in team, but definitely I in win. You got to do what you got to do to win. So if the guy behind you wins, you win too. It happened to me. Right now, the upperclassmen have got to really be leaders, because you have got to bring that team together. People on the field are the players, but everybody in uniform is playing.
I'll say this, you still haven't seen this team quit. They didn't quit. They came out with fight yesterday. If that fumble through the end zone if you don't have the combo choke move, and it's 7-0, you got the ball, it's midway through the second quarter, you're doing everything you want to do at that point in terms of hanging it close. Your offense isn't doing much, but still, that's a close ball game. Yeah. So when you look at it, I just don't see a lot of quit in this team. And I will say, they said the right things after the game last night. You had several quotes. Kendall Vickers, I believe, a couple other guys were talking about, we're not going to let it end with a bunch of losses. We want to go 8-4. I credit them for that. At the same time, I don't ever remember interviewing players after games. They said, that's it, I'm done. I'm done, we're gonna lose them all, don't care. So I like what they said. Does it make a difference? I guess we'll find out over these next 5 games. All right, when we come back, we got quick slant questions on Rashawn Golden, best player on the team right now. Shoop got aggressive, should he have gotten aggressive earlier? Penalties that are killing Tennessee, and Garantano makes a semi-promise, I guess. Will it be a magical last 35 days? Come on back on the Sports Source.